So we're on our way to Garden Route Giro 2026. To say that we're excited is an understatement. So we left Cape Town. We obviously had to meet Alec and I at the office. We went past and fetched Raycard, but you're looking at 3 hours 46 minutes left. So about 4.5 hours on Cape Town. Call it 5. You're going to stop and get premium grade coffee from Bumpy. We will get there at 12 o'clock. Registration is at Jakalsvlei in Herbertsdale. And that's from 2 o'clock. You then only starting the race the next day, but you don't, I don't know about you, but I don't want 5 hours of driving in my legs to go do a stage race. So we're spending the night in Riversdale, which is still an hour's drive. There's not much accommodation in Herbertsdale. But yeah, headed there. We're going to go and see the race organizers, team that planned the route, have a look at what's going on at registration, and give you guys as much information as possible.
Yeah, I'm working on about 4 to 5 hours of sleep every night this last week, but I've also put in 8 to 10 hours every week of cycling. I think last week was actually 14. So it'll be interesting to see how things play out moving forward. I think David's been off the bike a bit more than me.
Sure.
So it will see like fitness wise where everybody is, especially on stage one when all the chaos, kind of starts to settle down, or after stage one. Yeah, I've never been sponsored to do anything before, so it's really cool to have this opportunity to kind of do a stage race, which I've also never done. I've only done the really long races that are like 350 Ks or 160 Ks. I've never done it back to back. And yeah, looks like we're driving in a very moody condition this morning. Just very thankful to have any type of coffee in my hand. And I think we're all friends now, but we'll find out where everybody sits in 6 days after sharing a tent together. We might not be friends after this.
I hate how cynical you are. I think we've got this.
And then just an extra thing that's completely different. I don't think that you can do this whole race on one SRAM Axis battery. I don't think you can do this whole race on one SRAM Axis battery. He thinks that you can. I think you need at least 2 batteries.
So I'm going to try and do it on one charge. I did bring a spare. It's in my frame storage. We'll get to frame storage and bike setup and all that nonsense. I think that's our topic for day one. But yeah, I'm pretty confident I'll get through on one, and if I do, Alec is committed to shaving his head if he loses that wager.
I am not.
He didn't actually.
Such a thing.
We'll find a wager. We love a wager on this show. Mister's clearing up. I'm sure we have this. What mountains in front of us, Rayford? This is the toys.
Yeah, over there.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Stunning. Yeah, I think we'll catch up again once we get to registration, show you guys around there. Yeah, man, pumped. Thank you so much to the Garden Route Giro team for letting us come through and have the opportunity to cover this race and to bring our own perspective to whoever is watching this channel. Please make sure that you have subscribed so that you can keep track. We're going to be posting daily on YouTube predominantly, although we will have some cut down stuff on Instagram if we can. And please feed any questions through to us that you have, anything you want us to cover. If you know someone who's at the race, please make sure you send them over to us. Like, we're there to tell stories, not just our own narrative. So we encourage you to send anyone our way who you think we need to chat to there, or let us know who you think we need to go find, or any perspectives that you want.
So I don't know if we can go into this and chill, or if we need to go into this a bit more serious and an understanding of like this is a big thing. So I don't know if this is like the epic of gravel, or if this is just like can I get away with just like 200 watts all day every day and just kind of just like hang out.
Well, what's your where's your head at?
That's where my head is. I'm gonna stick to 200 watts, maybe 240 on the climbs, and
how much do you
really hit up that massage booth right afterwards and then eat.
How much do you weigh? So your watts are in some sort of perspective.
Let's see, I think I'm about 63, 64 right now, kgs.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
But yeah, so if I can maintain that, I think I'll be good. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to step it down even more. But I don't know if this is gonna be like a big race or not. I have no frame of reference because I haven't done anything like this before. So it'll be just another layer of learning on top of everything else.
I do have an idea, but I'm not going to tell you, so I have an edge.
Oh,
I'm here to beat you.
you're here to beat me.
And I'm the underdog. Everyone loves an underdog story.
How are you the underdog? You're bigger than me.
Exactly. We're going up 2,000 meters of climbing almost every day. And
No,
it's literally tail of the underdog.
Well, maybe I'll just let you beat me.
Yeah, that sounds like an excuse.
They're all some of the storylines.
Okay, sweet. We'll check in again at registration and maybe wrap off with some final thoughts before we go to bed.
Definitely.
Sweet. .30, so sort of 5 hours on the dot. We're at Jakalsvlei, magic looking wine farm. Alex bike is absolutely wrecked. It's covered in mud, a little bit of gravel coming out. The gravel we're going to be riding tomorrow, so good route recon. No idea what's inside. We're going to go and have a look at the registration, see what you're getting in the goodie bag, and yeah, we'll get some B-roll so you can see what's happening here.
Yeah, so I've done twice 361, so I know the section, Charl section, that just moves away from Swartberg. I haven't done Swartberg on Oudtshoorn side, but I've done it on the Prince Albert side, which is beautiful. It's the only section I'm actually thinking that there's going to be some hard hitters, hammers going down. But I am quite interested to see what the rain did with this gravel road.
And nerves around multi-day, where the nerves coming from? So like we said just before we started,
Yeah.
I'm feeling nervous.
Yeah, I'm a little bit more excited. I don't know what to expect at 3 or 4, and I guess because I'm not racing for podium, I'm not too stressed. But I am gonna box it all in the first couple of days. I'm gonna mood it and then see what happens. Yeah, see.
And you mentioned you're on a crux, is that right?
Yeah, I used to ride a Diverge, which has a little damper in the front, which makes these longer rides, a little bit easier. Now the crux, I think I have a couple of teeth that's loose, but I'll see if they survive.
Tire width, I've got to ask.
I'm going on 50s, so I'm gonna see if running a little bit of a lower pressure does the job. But I'm just checking out what the guys are doing and say, okay, I'm going on 50, see what they do. But I did pack 42s in, the Pathfinders of Specialized. So if I see there's a little bit more tarmac, I'm gonna see if they can move it as hard as the 50s. What are you riding on?
I'm on an Elves prototype bike that is not available yet. It's supposed to be more like endurance focused. The other one's a bit like aero racy.
Yeah.
45s, which I did 361 on twice, and that felt low tire pressure though, like 1.8.
Yeah. Did you do last year's
Yeah.
route? Yeah.
And it felt like the right balance.
Yeah.
Also with this mud, I worry I can fit a 15 on the front. It's not
The
official.
clearance.
And this mud, Alex is running some pretty gnarly tires as well on his crux, and he's thinking, do I swap out for the narrow ones?
Oh.
But I think because this is, I actually saw it on one of their banners, proper gravel. Yeah, the hashtag is proper gravel.
Pristine.
I think 45s is the right tire, but I'm so keen to see what everyone's running. I'm going to be asking these questions throughout.
We had massive debates about it because I have a mate of mine that's going to run, I think, a 48, 42. So they're going for like a mullet system, and some running 50s, and then others giving me shit because I'm running these big wide tires and for the clearance as well, because we're going to have a little bit of mud, I think. I'm interested to see what's going to be the fastest.
Chainring and cassette?
I'm being bold, bolder than I should be. I'm running a 46 in the front. Ooh. And then I did have a 46.10 at the back, but I said yes, that's too much. So I'm running a 52.10 at the back to compromise. And then I was a little bit late because I have a 107 BCD and I need to order a 42 chainring. So you might see me next to the road Chandaing.
46 is wild. I'm on a 40. I went down just for this.
Yeah, I saw Marku, Hubert, is running a 50 in the front. So, yeah, I feel better about myself. But I'm also not him.
It is Marco.
Yeah. So,
Favorites for the win?
I must say Roxy races for Safari Essence Titan Racing, so I need to give coin there. Vessel, definitely, is my money is on Vessel. And then Jan as well, strong rider. But if I should put money on it, I would put my money on Vessel. Yeah, I think he's gonna clap it hard.
If I had to put a wager, I'd say I'm a volley at heart, so I'm backing Lisa Bone to come out, and
Okay.
I don't know that she's the favorite
Yeah.
from a gravel point of view, but I'd like to see her get a result. I think it'd be good for cycling
Yeah.
and Vessel.
Yeah, and she's strong, eh? She's strong. I think.
That Josie fight in her.
Yeah. It's like looking over your shoulder the whole time.
Yeah, I think it's. And big question between the stages: Are we having some Jakalsvlei wine? Are we?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have a couple of beers. I'm just gonna see how much I can fit in after day one. And I already have a good Dutch friend of mine that flew in for this race, and he said like we're gonna have to party as hard as we ride. And I did plan on riding hard. So I'll see what my tolerance is.
I'm super stoked we bumped into you. Looking forward to
lucky.
some wine with you. Come let us know. We're going to be going around. We'll have a fixed podcast set up, but also walking around like this. Please come let us know how it's going. You,
Yeah.
your mate. If the wine's good, which
Yeah.
beers are the coldest? Like, yeah,
I'll
keen
see.
to chat.
They have a couple of nice beers. I heard every time they have like the Poes, that's very nice.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
South Africa. We don't struggle with good wine in here.
Never. Thanks, Dave.
Yeah,
That's-
Henco, we are a day away from what is being considered the next big thing in gravel stage racing, and I can't help but notice the catchphrase proper gravel. Would you mind taking me through, from your perspective, what proper gravel is?
Yeah, look, that actually came quite naturally. We do a lot of mountain bike races, and we thought that if we do a race on gravel and it really gets tough to find proper gravel, we want to go to Tor, but proper gravel still remains paramount. We don't want to go to Jeep track or have another mountain bike race. We want a gravel race. Hence the name proper gravel, and nowhere better and more proper gravel than the Garden Route, Glencarroll. So yeah, here we are.
I've got to ask the question: Are you a fan of riding some proper gravel yourself?
I'm not. I don't really ride a lot of gravel. I ride a lot of mountain bike. Been riding for many years, but from a business perspective, it makes absolutely sense for us to obviously use these gravel roads. And you know what? Irony is, many years ago, we couldn't sell a race on gravel, a mountain bike race. It was just single track and Jeep track, whatever. The more technical, the better. And now we're back to gravel. So this started actually with a mountain bike, because they used these roads and then they just adapted the bike. So it's pretty much the same. So.
And I mean, timing for me is quite interesting. I was actually going to ask, it's one of the questions I thought, like, why now? It is a particularly interesting time, gravel cycling industry. I mean, is there any significance in the timing of this for you guys in terms of choosing to take on the challenge of a 6-day stage race?
No, look, we have more than 10 stage races in our portfolio. So stage races are a thing. I don't think there's a company in South Africa that events organizer that do more stage races. So this fits perfectly. I think we only have 1 or 2 one-day races. So for us, it makes perfect sense. I think it's about the hospitality. When you're in a one-day event, you only get a little short chance to actually engage your customer and the riders. But now we get 6 days, and if we can give them this Karoo Garden Route hospitality, proper gravel riding, it makes our job so much easier. Is to actually engage them over 6 days, and that's why we went there. But timing wise, to answer your question, I think gravel is in that space now where we need these events. I think there's, due to a lot of different reasons, but safety being one, a lot of guys from road are looking at alternatives. And mountain biking is probably not that because you need technical skills. But on proper gravel and on smooth gravel roads, it's similar to a lot what you find on road, except there are no other vehicles. And the safety aspect is obviously much better. So yeah.
Yeah, I must say so I'm the opposite of you in many senses. One, that I don't have the balls to take on a 6-day stage race any day of the week. And I much prefer gravel than the technicality of a mountain bike. And one thing that I've noticed that we don't have, you mentioned how many stage races there are. You might want to cut to some B-roll of a snake being herded there. I mean, you don't see that every day. Doesn't look too serious. The Karoo, eh? Wild and untamed, not quite.
Well, yeah,
The
not
catchphrase,
really,
but what you don't see in road cycling is stage racing. So there used to be a Tour de Cap, which before that was the Giro del Capo, and I experienced it once. Obviously the race doesn't exist anymore, where you get to experience what it was like to wear a yellow jersey, look at time gaps, see how your body reacts to days of stage racing. It was just, you got to be teleported into what would it be like to be a professional racer? Because let's be real, where do you experience that if you're not a mountain biker in South Africa? So I love that aspect of it. Me, Charl, who I spoke to earlier, guy I haven't met, watches our show, Alec, we're all standing here like, we don't know what's going to happen on day 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've never, when have you done this before? And that excitement is, I'd say probably the number one thing we're both looking forward to. I'm slipping and sliding a little bit there on some loose mud. Course directorship wise, what were some of the aspects you were looking at? What do the riders have to look forward to? And if you can maybe end on who you think this is for.
Look, your first question. When we looked at the course, we wanted to steal a little bit from road, because if we like it or not, road biking is still 10 times the size of mountain biking worldwide. If you look at the Grand Tours, you look at the Tour de France. From that side, we wanted to steal a bit from them with things like intermediate sprints, climbing sections, intermediate climbs, out of category climbs. So we've got all that in Giro. So that is basically where it came from. But the main thing is we were looking for the smooth gravel roads. You could actually drink a bottle, sit back, not hold your handlebars, and cruise and chat to your buddy next door. So those kind of things are what we're after, and we look specifically for that. And every time we had a route recce with a couple of pro riders, and we were very worried about a lot of tar roads, because we do about 20% of sealed roads, and they said, you know what, some of these distances we really are going to enjoy that. Gives you a bit of breathing space, grab a bottle, drink, settle, and then go again. So I mean, if that answers your question,
Yeah.
that's exactly that.
You do have some big passes, some really big, beautiful passes. I don't think too many Cape Townians or South Africans at large would have had the opportunity to ride. I've been fortunate enough to do them both sides on 2 different occasions. It's a breathtaking moment where you really see what this country has to show off with. And if we think road cycling, if that's what we're going to take on, we don't have 1,000-meter climbs. Kalkenberg maybe at Gallows is the closest you're going to get. There's no road climbs where you're sitting on something for an hour. You pivot to gravel, and all of a sudden you've got world tour looking, stage racing profiles. How important were those to you in terms of including them in the route?
Very. I think, and I stand corrected, I think we do about 20 mountain passes on this route. But the 3 that stand out is, Swartberg coming from the south, or Cresting from the south, from the north, and then Rooiberg. Both of those we call out of category climbs. In other words, they probably 10 k's long and they climb around 1,000 meters up. So those are proper climbs in any man's book. And you're right, we don't find them in road biking so much. And also because we're lending with mountain biking towards the technical stuff, we don't get to ride this. So some of our stage roads we actually do. So those are really significant, and that'll be stage 3 and 4. And then we've got some other climbs in between that are half that size, but are still pretty decent. So I would say from a climber's perspective, a great event. but also a lot of flat undulating roads that for the bigger guys that want to turn the gears, also a really, really nice ride.
We've had some interesting conversations with people around setup. We'll keep them going throughout the next 6 days. Some guys running 50s, some guys down to 40s, very common 1052s rolling around here. If you were setting up for this, what would some of your technical setup top tips be?
I would go a bit wider, especially now with the wet. So you're going to go through sections a bit muddy. You don't want to be too narrow a tire. That's one thing. And I'd set my gears up for quite a bit of climbing, especially that stage to Neisner. We're going to the Prince Alfred's Pass, and that's with 4 or 5 days of riding. I would be looking at my gear ratios properly, but I wouldn't go too narrow. But yes, I would say the guys have, I think some might even change in between. Maybe for the first 2 stages stay with something a bit more for the flats, and then obviously go to the climbing gears from then on. So I would say that's going to happen if they have the option.
Again, you don't go to a race as a South African on the road where you've got this like, I'm going to change tires, I'm going to adapt, I can tweak this, I can do that. It's just, we don't get to do this, Alec or I, or many of the people that I'm chatting here. And we've met about 6 or 7 people here at the registration so far. And other than the route profile and the stage race, like, people are harping out about that. Like cyclists, we do nerd out over seemingly inconsequential details, but that's the hobby. Who's this race for? Like, who's this really for? I mean, I'm a roadie that loves a gravel stage race.
The race is for you exactly, and I was listening to you and I was talking to you, you exactly are target. That intermediate guy that enjoys his road cycling, wants to move over. Also, the mountain biker that, a lot of mountain bikers use gravel for training. It's a bit more simple, it's cheaper to maintain. But you are our target audience, exactly.
Good to know I am where I belong. There are some races here. There are some very, very serious races here.
Yeah.
Would it be unfair to ask you for an early call? Male and female?
I'm much better at predicting times than predicting winners. We had 1 or 2 European riders that didn't make it, that I maybe would have, like Hans Becking and these guys that didn't make it, that I thought might be able to do it. But quite frank, I have no idea. This is an open field. Because it's so long and because it's got such varied terrain, I'm not going to put my foot in it yet.
Fair enough. We've got plenty of other predictions we'll lean on then. Times, I see tomorrow you're expecting the race leaders back by 12. That gives them a little over 2 hours to get it done. That's pretty fast.
Look, yes, before the rain, definitely. I'd add 15 minutes with the rain. I think the little bit of mud, especially in the little drifties through the rivers, might just keep them back. But I wouldn't add more than 10-15 minutes to my prediction. And also, we have coming into Riversdale, and just before Oakdale, we've got quite a nice section of flat tar road. So if there's a group together, they'll fly. And I think that's something we'll see, those dynamics to play out in this race, is where people, obviously in smaller groups, but be riding a lot together on the proper gravel roads. And then you can see the times going up.
Well, I really look forward to taking part in the event. We are extremely excited to bring it to as many people as we can over the next few days. So if you see us roaming around, chatting to the many guests that you've got here, and you've got anything you want to come share with us, please do. But thank you for taking on the challenge of putting this on. Like, we know all too well, having spoken to enough people over the years, how difficult it is, how risky it is, how much time, efforts and money that it takes, bringing the sponsors on board. I mean, they all deserve credit themselves. But sincerely, thank you, because we don't have anything like this, and God knows we need it and want it. So wishing you and the team all the success, and we look forward to bringing it to the base that we have, growing it. Thank you for having us.
Appreciate being here, taking the effort, and appreciate that you guys are actually road, as you said, you're a road biker coming out to test the waters, because you might have thought with dry land, doing things like Atakwas Tankwa, this might become a really technical ride. And we had a lot of questions. Like, people that phoned us and said, listen, got a lady friend that wants to ride, but they're not good at walking. So I said, you know, you don't have to walk. If you walk, I think it might be out of your own will, but yeah, you can ride all the way. So enjoy.
I have aspirations of doing every one of your stage races. Random little side quest that I'm going to be working on, but you're 100% right. I've got a mountain bike. I'm too scared to take them on. The guys that I know that race and love them are extremely technical, and it's a good point. I'm glad that you mentioned that. Where I didn't feel that at all coming into this. I think the team that you got to go and do that recce, and the footage that was released, and the track record you guys have in terms of what we say the event is going to be is what it's going to be. Having done 361, I've seen a few 361ers here that have done it on gravel bikes. I DNF'd one, finished the other one. It says a lot about the trust people have in the dryland events team. One thing they've all said, and this is not blowing smoke because anyone's asked us to, as tough as it might be, it's a dryland event, so at least we know it'll be raw run.
It's tough, it should be fun. But yes, look, we've been playing with this race for 3 years. We've looked at it and gone, you know, there's a balance, because what the main objective was to get these. If you look at, if I can talk about, say, Tour de France, they've got all these villages, and a lot of the commentary and the media goes around the chateaus and the villages and what they stand for, what happens, historical significance. And that's what we're doing here. We're going to places like Riverstone, places like Van Wyksdorp. I mean, you probably haven't heard about it before. We're going through the center of town, and there probably 200 people living there, but there's a sign that says Van Wyksdorp Mall. I mean, imagine. So then we go to Jakalsvlei, which is the port capital of South Africa, or the world, port capital of South Africa. Then we go over the biggest mountains in South Africa to Prince Albert, this beautiful town with the beautiful buildings, a lot of significance. And then we come to De Rust, like a sleepy hamlet, and through Uniondale and De Vlucht, and then we end up in Neisner, which we all know. And then the last day we fly to Wilderness, and we finish right next to the sea on this common in front of this beautiful hotel. And that night we have a party. And I mean, how can you not enjoy it? It's just...
You're describing a holiday. Like, that's an absolute dream.
Bit of riding everything.
I've done the George back to Cape Town. There's a name for that loop, and I did it. A few mates, and we all had the same thing at the end. Like, never mind South Africans, Cape Townians just don't know how good it is. One of our plans, Breakhearts over there, is going to be going ahead with the vehicle every day. And a big part of the story we want to bring is like, this is the time that you end in. This is exactly what you've said now. Like, this is why it's significant that you come in here. We did an iconic series on the podcast with Nick White, Dave George, and Malcolm Langer. And they spoke about how there's, you know, the golden era, they would race through the whole country, these big stage races. And all of them. And they had a bet with a beggar that asked for a loaf of bread, and said, well, we'll give you 3 if you can name 5 road cyclists, middle of nowhere, little Dorpy. And Oak just starts rattling them off, gets to like 10. Like, wow, this is crazy. I think he got a few more than 3 loaves of bread that day. And they all separately reflected on the lost importance of racing through this beautiful country. Those guys don't see, you know, the glamour and these bikes passing through. You don't know who that's going to inspire. You don't know who that's going to inspire going there, you know, getting away. And it's a beautiful aspect of this race that we are absolutely, as we say in the seaboard, frothing to get stuck into this thing and to just enjoy it. Like, it feels like something we're going to come to and enjoy. And it sounds like that's what you guys are saying that it should be. So I think the two are going to marry up with a little bit of work in between. It goes without saying.
The diversity. I was riding 3 weekends ago. I drove the whole route just to check and to, you know, take it in, and we did some marking as well. But what really stood out for me as I was coming down into Neisner, you've got these fern-infested forests on your side. You come into Neisner, and then less than 100 km back, you were in the middle of the arid desert. And these flat roads and sand all on the sides, nothing growing, arid Karoo. And that, to me, I realized that's what the people enjoy. Is this real diverse country that we live in, obviously, and also the trails just emulate it.
Yeah.
And these routes are just to die for. I mean, I must get
couldn't
myself
agree more.
gravel bikes.
No, we can help you out with that. You'd be a great use case for testing gravel bikes in the Great Karoo.
I think it's getting time. That's what I rode a lot of mountain bikes. Quite a bit, but in the end, if your job if your hobby becomes your job, it's the end of the hobby, So it's not great, but you need to ride. I need to ride more, but that's why we create these things so I can get back into it.
You've allowed us to. I mean, we can fully appreciate the hobby, unhealthy time balance, passion mix business combination you spoke about there. This is our first and a very unique experience. We're going to be able to enjoy doing both. So thank you for affording that to all three of us. This has been a pinch yourself moment for all of us to get to cover this, to be a part of it, to share our views on it, and those of the people that are here to do it.
You got a wager on who's finishing first?
Yeah, we do. Alex agreed to shave his head if I beat him. He didn't actually, but we've set it to 5 people now on camera, so now it's real. Like, he can't back out of it. There is not a snowball's chance unless he has no wheels on his bike and his chainring snaps in half that I'm going to beat this specimen of a human. And there are a few other wagers. Feel free to throw any counter wager in for him if he's prepared to shave his beautiful naturally blonde hair.
Maybe for the winner of you 3, we can throw in a bit of easy staying for the next year's race. Maybe throw in a bit more comfort. So, but we'll get into that as this week progresses. I'll think about
for
it.
the winner is
Yeah.
up for grabs.
Yes, maybe some sports masseuse or
His face is lighting up.
or free beers at night.
We got a couple of those lying around. I think Alex is. You got it. You had him at masseuse. He's, the little technical coming down. Anyway, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Really appreciate it. Good luck. We'll
Thanks.
see you out there, and we will be nagging you the whole of the next year to get some hours in on that gravel bike you don't have yet. That we're going to make sure you do.
Thanks.
Cheers. Appreciate it.